Action.
People. All
Good
right.
people. It is the DC crossover. I am Ben Simpson. That
The
is Mike
people of
Cerrone.
Westeros.
Yes. They are our people here. We are back for another episode. Go and follow the show on social media at the DC crossover and at Cerrone16. And then on TikTok, DC crossover podcast. A lot to get to tonight. An action packed episode. I've got I've got a TikTok account that I want to show you on air.
Oh.
I want to talk some Commanders, coaches search. Want to talk a little bit of playoff action, and I know you've got a food review to get into as well. But let's start the program with I know that you had the unfortunate experience of having to drive to Costco today around like just before rush hour. I mean, it kind of, rush hour is different now than it was before COVID because now
Right.
people leave work at all different times. Before it was like rush hour's 5 o'clock. Now it's like rush hour starts at like 4 o'clock. And so you not only had to drive in that, but you also, for those who aren't in Northern Virginia, it was like a monsoon today. It started raining. It was totally fine in the morning, and then as soon as like 8 o'clock hit, it just started like sprinkling, and then it got like progressively worse as the day went on. And so I am astounded. Why did you even need to go to Costco today?
So let me start off by saying I went to Costco because obviously I teach at two different schools. So how Fairfax County Public Schools does it is for a specialist, which is me, what I do is I'm at two different schools to fill up my week. So what they do is I guess you could say for my specific position and a couple other positions that are within the schools, they go by population size. So that's why I'm at two different schools because, say, this school, their sixth grade class goes out, and then the kindergarten class comes in, and it's
Right.
like 20 less students or something like that. They don't need that teacher, so they don't pay for it, basically.
Yeah.
And obviously, Loudoun County and all these other school districts do it differently. But for me, I was at my school that's in Burke today. So right along my way home on Fairfax County Parkway, I can get off on, Lee Road, Ox Road, whatever the hell it's called.
Sure.
And yeah, whichever one that is, over in like Fair Lakes area, and go to that Fairfax Costco. Now, the problem is that, and my mom has told me multiple times that is one of the worst Costcos, if not the worst Costco
In America.
in America,
Yeah.
Northern Virginia, wherever you want to say. And obviously it's Tuesday, so I was at my other school today, and I was like, I'm gonna go to Costco. I'm at 80 miles left on my range. I'll just fill up there, yada yada yada. And we had a few things to get, so I said, all right, I'll do it on my way home. Had the podcast today, so I said it'll be perfect timing. I'll show up. I got a half hour left till the podcast, whatever. So that was the main reason why I was already planning on going to Costco. And did I want to go once I saw the tsunami after I got out of work?
No, thank you.
Did not want to. But then I thought to myself, maybe this scares off some people, the crazies or the
You would think.
the losers like me who would go to Costco on a Tuesday in Fairfax while it's it's a torrential downpour. So first things first, okay? Going to Costco at this particular Costco sucks. Now, the only reason I do it is because it's on my way home, and I don't have to go back out or anything of that nature, or even fight the crowds on a weekend. The problem is this Costco has the weirdest and most, I guess you could say, the most rude people that you could ever find in your life.
Lovely.
That you could ever find in your life. So first things first, I pull in, gas station's closed. I'm already pissed. I said, why in the hell is the gas station closed? And my buddy's like, well, maybe it's because it's windy. I'm like, the gas pumps aren't going to fly away.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not that windy.
Windy?
So, yeah, I was kind of pissed off about that. So all of a sudden, I'm like, all right, whatever. Bite the bullet. I got 80 miles in the range. I'll get it tomorrow before the chiropractor or after the chiropractor at that sketchy Shell on Eldon Street.
Oh, yeah.
That's on the Upside app, at least. That's the only reason I go there.
Right.
So, yeah, this sketchy Shell. That place is creepy. So, he always had the guy in the little office thing staring at you.
Oh, yeah.
So, I ended up going inside, soaking wet, of course. Look for a cart. And this Costco doesn't have like the area that like the Sterling Costco
Yeah,
does.
where the big corral where
yeah,
it's
the cart corral. Chantilly has a huge one
Yeah.
on two different sides or whatever. So I go into this Costco and I'm looking for a cart. I see two carts. First thing I do is I say, all right, there's a box in this one or whatever. You know, I get the box out and I try to grab the cart, not realizing I wasn't like, because I was already wet. My hood was like hooded over, like, you know, all this kind of stuff. Not realizing that cart was the cart corral cart machine, like with the big red thing that the guy that the guy like motorizes with
It's
his
the
with
one. Yeah. He
Yeah.
he pushes the carts all around the parking lot with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
realizing that was attached to it. I just thought it was two carts, and I just
Right.
grabbed one, and I couldn't grab it because it was attached to this motorized scooter thing.
Big mistake.
So I was like, so I had to go back out in the parking lot while it's still monsooning, trying to find a cart that was not completely soaked, which obviously didn't happen because I found one
Yeah,
that was
they all
completely
are.
soaked. So I ended up getting one, going inside, going up and down the aisles. Obviously, I'm not finding certain things that I want. I did see that they had cinnamon rolls there, which I was like, wow, that is impressive. Next time I'll have to go there and get them because they were covered in icing.
Oh,
I mean, you
that
talk
sounds-
about good rolls. Those rolls
Cover
were,
me in icing.
yeah, cover me in icing and slap me and call me Nancy.
Yeah,
So basically, I don't know why I had to pick that name, just because. So seems like every mom in shows is named like
Oh,
Nancy,
yeah.
like
That's definitely a
Step
mom.
Brothers,
Yeah.
and something else.
Yeah.
So whatever else. So I go into this Costco, and I'm going up and down the aisles, like I said, get my stuff or whatever. Can't find any seltzers for like the fourth time in a row. There's no seltzers, there in the entire warehouse. It's called
Doesn't
a
make any
warehouse.
sense. I mean, that's like it's like the most popular drink in America, basically these
And
days.
yeah, and the funny thing is, they used to have like cases of Truly lemonades, which is awesome. They don't have that anymore, so you had to go to Total Wine. Total Wine doesn't have them anymore.
Ugh.
What's the point? So I'm not going to get hung up on that because I'll be there for like 20 minutes. So I ended up going around and getting some stuff here and there. Didn't have like 3 or 4 things, which they don't have the spaghetti sauce in the 3-pack anymore, which is awful. So that's out. So I maybe missed 3 or 4 items. I text Jazz. I say, hey, I'm not going to be able to get these items. Probably to get them at Harris Teeter down the street or
This
whatever.
already sounds like a waste of
Yes.
time.
Yeah. Well, that also because I didn't get gas. Didn't
Yeah.
get everything on the item.
No gas. The
it was-
list is in shambles.
The
Yeah.
list doesn't have enough cross offs because it's obviously.
This sounds awful.
So I finally am like, all right, let's get the hell out of here. I did get some things on sale, which was nice or whatever, but now they have self checkout, so you don't have to wait in that long line where the guy's
Thank
yelling
God.
at you like,
Yeah.
"Move up, please, move!"
Yeah.
Like that guy's.
You got the
that guy-
guys that are in line with like 4 carts worth of stuff.
Oh yeah. One cart is just water.
Yeah.
So I ended up going to the self checkout, and this fine gentleman, I'm not going to say his name or his ethnicity,
Sure.
he ends up saying, I can't do an accent.
Yeah, probably not a good idea.
He said, it's like I have to stop myself when I'm on this podcast. He says, "Oh, you're very hungry, aren't you?"
Oh no, he threw that at you?
And I look at him and I'm like, dude, I have like Ziploc bags in here. like it wasn't a ton of stuff. Obviously, the list was 7
Also, you're
things.
at Costco where like the whole bit is like you're buying an S ton of stuff because
Yeah.
you get it discounted. Yeah, I mean that's the whole point.
So he says like, "Oh, you're very hungry, I see."
Oh god.
And he threw in the "I see" at the problem,
Yeah.
like he's examining my cart. And I was like, "Yeah, I guess so." And because he just kept pointing at the rotisserie chicken, because I told you before,
Yeah.
I always get the rotisserie chicken no matter what because it's
Sure.
the best deal on the planet.
It is.
Five-
It is.
fi-
it is.
$5 for
but
a
there
bird.
is nothing worse than being a big dude and having it pointed out like, "Are you hungry, big guy?" Or like, "Oh, you must be hungry."
Well, the best part is I think the only thing of food that I
was
had
the rotisserie
was
chicken.
the rotisserie
Maybe he
chicken.
expected you to eat the entire thing, like right after you get in the car, or like
Oh.
I don't know what he was expecting. Which I mean, granted, totally worth it. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will say, throwback to when I was in like high school and stuff like that. My mom would get 2 rotisserie chickens, and I'd sit there and eat probably 80% of the first one.
Perfect.
Just sit there and just peel it off and just keep eating it. Dunk it in some like sauce or whatever. I mean, that's just what I did in high school. But anyways, so I'm a loser. So that's one of the things I look forward to in life was the rotisserie chicken from Costco.
Hey, I mean, I'm spaghetti man. I used to have spaghetti after school every day. So
Oh, that's so good. So he looks at me and says that, and I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, and he starts like laughing, like kind of like Santa, like it was like a mix of Santa's ho ho ho's and like a laugh. It was like, oh, like I was like, all right.
I hate everything about this.
Yeah, I was like, please keep scanning my items because first of all, there's only like 7 items in there, yet I still spent like $500 somehow. No idea. So I ended up finally checking out. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go over to the kiosk with the food because let's be honest here, you always have to go there. It's $1.50.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, a slice of za or
Man,
a
you make
hot
me
dog,
hungry.
dude. By the way, I didn't know the pizzas were only like $9.95 or something like that.
All right.
The whole pizza. I didn't know that.
I know.
Next time I'm going to get one of those things.
It's money.
So I ended up going over there. Problem was, again, Fairfax Costco. Problem is, there's an old guy in the middle kiosk. There's 6 total. There is an Asian woman across from me. I get in the first one. She's across from me. She has 2 kids that she's yelling at that are at the other 3. Yeah, because that makes 6. That are pressing buttons, like it's like they're like doing like a speak and spell or something like that. And they're just pressing. Buttons.
Are they workers? What do you mean?
The
Oh,
Asian
at the
woman's-
kiosk to
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, the order kiosk.
Okay.
So they're pressing buttons, like I said, like a
Oof.
speak and spell. Or
They're
something
ordering like 500 pizzas.
I'm like this. I'm like this guy in the back's probably like, oh my god, he's gonna order for 70 hot dogs.
Yeah.
So she's doing that, and she's like, okay, like just like not saying anything, like not just.
Right.
First of all, that's already on tilt.
Like get them out of the way.
Yeah, because
Let the real people order.
Yeah, because also this is while I'm ordering, and I already know what I'm ordering, and it takes me literally less than 30 seconds to do hot dog, whatever.
Yeah. Hot dog, 3 pizzas. Tasty cake or whatever.
Yeah, that would be nice if it had that. So I ended up so I'm already on tilt a little bit because the whole entire Costco experience so far, and also just getting shamed for having 1 rotisserie chicken in my cart. So the lady's not saying too much to him, and it just tilts me a little bit even more because, you know, when I'm having to deal with elementary school kids all day, every day, and how bad behavior is nowadays, that's the problem that I see is like some parents out there, and I'm not saying all parents, but some parents, they just like let their kids do whatever they want. Like, let's be honest here. Your kid shouldn't sit there and be on 3 different kiosks pressing hot dog and you know chicken bake 7 times. Like,
Certainly not.
they should be somewhere else. So I end up ordering, and I pull my cart off to the side. Meanwhile, that little order area is not that big, so it's like, you know, when you have a cart, it's like you're kind of in the way. So I kind of moved it off to the side, stuff like that. I'm out of the way. Meanwhile, the guy that was right next to me ordering, the old guy, is like sitting there like this, doing a little like peek over, saying like kind of like, dude, you just ordered 20 seconds ago. Like your pizza hasn't even been like made yet.
Right, you got to give them a little bit of time.
So you had that kind of guy there. Then you had another Indian fella over here with his kid, and his kid's like spinning in circles around him, and like he's like doing a loop-de-loop with them with their arm. And I'm like, okay. So I'm just like looking around, and then they yell 301, and I look down at my thing, it says 308, and I'm like, oh my god, I got 7 orders left. So I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna kill myself. So then you have these 2 like 11-year-old kids that keep going up and asking them where the order is for Liam. And we're all like, I mean, maybe not we're all, maybe it's just me.
You thought you were like in this together with everybody, and like they don't even pay attention.
I'm following this story like, who's Liam?
Where's Liam?
First of all, there's 2 11-year-old kids. Okay, those 2 11-year-old kids weren't in Costco just ordering pizza.
Right.
So they come in. They asked this one guy in the back, and the one guy in the back's like, "Is this your pizza right here?" And he handed him one. She was like, "No, there's supposed to be 2 pepperonis." And the guy's like, "Well, this is a cheese, and your name is not Dame, so this is not yours." So he brings it back, and then they kept saying, "It's for Liam, though." And the guy says, "Talk to that guy over there," because it was like an older guy. He's like, "Talk to that guy over there, because I don't know what you're talking about or who Liam is."
Oh God.
So this is a whole story. So all of a sudden, we're getting to this whole entire thing where Then they go over and ask this other guy, "Where's my pizzas for Liam?" And meanwhile, they're in the number call out section that's probably this big. So everyone's having to go around them to get their stuff when the guy calls the stuff out. And they won't move. I was like, if it gets to 308, which was my number, I'm hip checking one of these
You're
kids. You're
barreling through like Donkey Kong.
I'm
smashing
barrel rolling through Mario
yeah.
Kart,
Yeah.
blue shell here. So I was like, oh my God. So they kept, and meanwhile, they were there before I even got there when I was checking out my item, and they were still there when I
mean,
left.
at that point, it's like, I mean, I guess if they already paid for it, but I was about to say, like, they could have gotten back in line, ordered on the kiosk, and probably gotten gotten the food, you know, at that point, like.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing too, is that they kept the guy at the front was basically saying like, "Did you order on your phone or something like that?" And they were like, "Oh yeah." Like it was like again 2 11-year-old kids.
Okay.
So I started laughing because I was talking to my buddy on the way home, and I was like, "Dude, I bet they're scheming." This one kid was like
Ooh.
11 years old in the SpongeBob like pants.
Yeah.
Like, weird. It was like I was like, "There's zero chance." A parent was like, "Hey, yeah, why don't you run in and grab our pizza there?" No,
Right.
they probably were like, "Hey, you need to go in and say you have a pizza for Liam. If they don't give it to you, then you have to throw a fit or something like that." They had to been scheming because there's zero chance that they just don't get the order, especially if they don't have a Costco app where you order the food, or I don't think they do.
No,
that.
I don't think so.
So it's like,
And they're not on like DoorDash.
yeah. So I'm like sitting there, I'm like, they have
They
to
should be.
scheming. Because think about
I'd
it.
order Costco pizza on DoorDash every
100%,
night.
100%. Because you have to think about it this way: there was zero chance that they go in there and say, "Oh yeah, well I ordered it off of the phone," and they were like, "Well, we didn't get it." They were going to sit there and say, "Well, I guess it's our mistake. Here's a pizza."
Right.
Or something like
yeah,
that.
because in theory, for Costco, it's like it's. I mean, it costs them barely anything to make these things, so it's
Right.
like, all right, I'll
And
just
it's
give this.
$10 for
Yeah,
a pizza.
right.
Let's be honest here; they're not losing a ton of money because
No.
I just spent $30,000 on paper towels.
Right. And that
so-
rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, so that was a whole entire mess. So fast forward through that. I shouldn't say fast forward because I get my stuff and I go to the drink machine, which is already crowded as it is. I'm looking. I'm like, where are the straws? Can't find any. Then I'm like, where are the lids?
Oh no.
Can't find any. So I'm looking around. I'm like, what the hell? Where the hell are all the things? Like, where are the utensils of the drink? I said, screw it. I just went like Kobe, and I just threw them right in the trash.
Smart.
I was like, I'm not. I got to get out of here. I said,
you can't, because then you're standing in line asking like the people at the
Yep.
like, the front, like, hey, where are the? And then they're like in the middle of stuff, and this guy's saying like,
Yeah.
where's pizza for Liam? And like,
Well, meanwhile, I'm sitting there and I'm like, there's zero chance I'm gonna sit here and try to worry about these 40-cent drinks.
Right,
Like,
right,
first of all, I'm already irritated because of all these, Liam and this old guy and all of this. So that tilted me a little bit. But I'm like, whatever. So I get out of there, and I find a box, pack up my crap next to the door, and then I go outside. So of course, it's like I'm in the movie 2012 with John Cusack, and the huge monsoon tidal wave is coming at me, because literally I get to my car, and it just starts like whirling.
Oh, it got pretty bad. I mean, it
Yeah.
was like, especially when the wind added into the mix.
Well, it started whirling around, and I'm
yeah.
like getting pelted in my eyeballs, and I'm trying to look down. Meanwhile, my cart's like a runaway cart because the wind won't let it sit there. You know how like you pull your cart out, and you're like, all right, sit there, stay, and then
Yeah.
you start loading because I didn't have my trunk because my trunk has my spare tire still in it and all that kind of crap. So I had to pull it put it in my back seat and stuff like that. So the problem is that I'm sitting there trying to balance my cart while it's like slowly turning towards the hill, and I'm like, oh god. So
yeah.
but the problem is right when I load up my first thing, which was detergent, I look and there's an Asian woman that's inside of her Lexus, probably 7 feet from me, just staring at me, wanting to know if I'm leaving, but she's not saying anything to me. She's just
Right.
staring at me.
She's watching you put things into your vehicle,
Yes.
which would indicate, yeah, I'm leaving.
Yeah, but she's literally
She didn't even do the bit like, you going? Or like,
Yeah,
are you leaving? Are you staying? Are you leaving?
Yeah. She's stealing third.
Right.
So, but she was like this. Like, here's my car in the parking
I
spot.
thought you meant she was like, time out, time out.
Hey. But her car was like this.
Right.
So she was like right
So
here.
it's like, even if you were leaving, how the hell are you
Yeah.
supposed to even leave at
yeah,
that,
exactly.
at that point?
She was just there, and she was just staring at me for
Yeah.
like at least 20 seconds, and I'm like I was so pissed because first of all I couldn't say anything to her because first of all I'd have a mouthful of water because the rain was
Right. Yeah.
But then meanwhile I'm loading my stuff up, getting soaking wet, and
Right.
then all of a sudden she whips it into reverse and goes back about 15, 20 feet and throws on her blinker while I'm drenched trying to load up this crap in my car.
This is just too stressful.
Yeah, it is stressful. You would hate it. So then all of a sudden I'm like talking to myself out loud. I'm like F this lady.
Yeah.
Like, so
Suddenly
you're
she's the
waiting.
villain in
yeah,
this.
You're waiting. So
Yeah.
I said screw this. I, of course I'm hard headed. I
Should have
sit my-
gone back inside, said, pizza for Liam.
yeah, right. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I ended up sitting in my car for about 2 minutes while she had her blinker on the entire time. I said, first of all, I'm calming down for a second. Okay, lady? Like, I'm not going to rush out so you can have my spot.
Also, I assume there were other spots open.
That's the best part. There was a spot, put it this way, across from me,
Sure.
3 spots down.
Okay. So, yeah. But
A spot. I could literally throw the hot dog I bought and
Right.
hit that spot. Like, it was that close.
And there were probably others. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be honest.
It wasn't that packed. Okay. The problem was that she had to sit there with her blinker on, and then get this. She backs up. She finally sees that spot. She goes like this. She pulls in halfway, starts staring at me again.
Whoa.
Which
You
is
mean she
good.
pulls into the new spot?
Yeah, and stares at me
Why
while
is she
she's
looking at you?
halfway in. She's on her. The brake is on, and she's staring at me again.
Wow.
And I'm like, lady, like what? I thought we were gonna fight or something.
Then she
like
goes, man, you must be hungry.
that. yeah, right.
After looking at you put all your food
He's
in.
eating that rotisserie chicken that,
Yeah.
that the other guy said.
Jeez. There's nothing, I mean, I will say, like, some of the most stressful high stress situations are involve parking, because then there's also the bit where, like, if you're on like a city street and you have to parallel
right,
park
right.
and there's like cars behind you, and and like you have like one shot, because if you screw it up and you have to redo it, it's
Oh,
like
no.
game over. Like
Then
there's
everyone starts beeping at you and going around.
you have to go home at that point.
Yeah,
You have to be like,
you should quit.
we're gonna have to sell the tickets because I can't park here. And like,
it's off limits.
like that the parallel park, and then yes, the parking lot situation where like, and on both ends, because it's I always, if I'm in the lady's shoes in that situation, as I like to be, you know, when you're trying to find a spot and it's a busy parking lot, and you have to do that awkward bit where you're acting like you're a serial killer, like stalking your victim, and you're like slowly coming down the aisle, watching like 2 old people walk to their Acura, and like, you know, you're just, and you're having to be like, all right, I got to go slow, not too fast, because obviously like there's a guy behind me, he wants that spot, so I have to like go nice and slow, and then I have to like, you have to sit there and wait for them, and like you have to pretend, and you have to like look around like you're not like, you know,
And,
like,
and their spot's always the farthest one away.
oh yeah,
They're
no,
walking for an hour.
yeah, and yeah, that's the thing. It's like once you catch on to somebody walking to their car, you're like, all right, their car's probably close by, right? I mean, they wouldn't park on the other side of the parking lot, and it always ends up being that way. But
Well, that was the best
that's
part,
stressful
though.
too.
She ended up pulling halfway in, like I said.
Yeah,
So then I'm like, all right, the duel's over. I can leave.
right. You just got to get out of there.
I put it in drive. I start to pull forward. I might have pulled forward maybe 10 feet, if that. She whips it into reverse to come grab my spot.
Really?
While she's already halfway in the spot that's 15 feet away.
What was so good about your spot?
I don't know. It's like, what, is she going to get 17 less raindrops on her?
Wow.
Like, it made no sense. I'm like,
People are crazy.
so then I sped out, and I'm just cussing up a storm to myself. and I'm just so pissed off because of all these happenings. This guy, body shaming me because I have a rotisserie chicken, only a rotisserie chicken in my cart, and the detergent.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
He's like,
this
"You
guy,
fat F."
these Liam pizza people. It's like, oh my god,
Pizza for Liam?
no gas.
They're just there all night asking
yeah,
for that.
yeah.
Pizza
Hey,
for Liam.
was that pizza for Liam done yet? Man, that story
No,
lasted forever. I don't know how that's happened.
It's okay. It's okay. Because, I mean, that's how it happens in Costco. I mean, next thing you know, you're walking out with
one after
like,
another.
You're spending like $600 on like, and you're like, how did I get 50 cans of cheese puffs? Like, I don't even know where this came from.
Well,
That's
judging by
Costco bit.
the parking bit where you say like you kind of like ease into it, that's
Yeah.
me with a cart and the rotisserie chickens. When I see them packing up those bad boys, I don't want that gross one that's been out there for 3 hours. I want that newly packed one that's nice and plump.
Right.
I want that plump bird because
No,
that's what
for
I
sure.
do is when I see that guy packing them up. The problem is they pack like 17 up at once. They don't pack a couple up, then put them on the shelf. They like have a huge table back there, and it's very intricate for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Meanwhile, everybody else is just like, going about their life, and like you're just like thinking about all of this. Yeah. Well, besides Costco, we do have some other stuff to talk about
Yeah.
today. Of course, Michigan, Washington last night. We don't really, who really cares? Before we get into sports, I just want to, on a side note, I just want to show you this TikTok account.
Oh,
I'm pretty excited about this. So, this guy has 5,752 followers. He's Rock Norton 22 on TikTok, and his videos are some of the strangest videos that I've ever seen. So it's just this guy's stupid face. Like, for example, here's a good example. So here he is, just shirtless.
Is that a breathing tube?
Doing these like
Transitions.
transition videos, and like, wait, that's not even the one I wanted. Your relationship status in 2024. He's
no.
doing this. He's in there shirtless.
Look at
And he does this, and I don't even think he speaks. He just, oh wait, it skipped. And I don't want to play the music because then it'll like take away anyways. But like, look, he's like doing these transition, and he's just sitting there, and just look at him.
Okay, that's satisfied.
He's
Well, I know exactly what he's doing though. So I've seen these before. First of all, I've seen creepy guys like this before that pop up, and it's like they have no likes or something like that.
Look at him.
He's like, oh, 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 oh. Oh, is he saying no? He's saying no.
But like, why does this guy have 5,000 followers, and why is he always in bed with a breathing tube
With
and
no
he's
shirt on?
shirtless?
Look, he's talking. Oh my god! The funny thing about it is,
I'm average. A queen. Fuck yes.
Okay, well, I don't know where that came from.
Oh, that's-
oh God, what is this one?
oh, no.
It's like a. I mean, whoa, hold on, back up for a second. I mean, the dude is like
Whoa.
missing. What is wrong with his teeth? At first, I thought that was like a piece of gum, but I think that's like the only good tooth left in the bottom of
That's
his
the
mouth.
only tooth he's got left.
Like, why? Why does he have
the
so many
thing.
people?
This is the thing. Again, I've seen creepy people like this that are old guys. First of all, this guy,
What the hell is this one?
this guy screams to me. He screams to me, "Oh, there is a TikTok girl or streamer or whatever Instagram model." He's the guy that responds, "Looking great, sweetheart," or like very sexy or something like that. This guy, Rock Norton. Oh, look at him. Look at him.
What is he doing?
God, that guy. Oh, but here's the thing. I don't think he realizes that once you use a filter, you
Yeah.
can erase it. Like I use filters all the time.
Oh,
You know those.
right,
you know those filters that have like, oh, you're an NBA player, and
Right,
this is the
right,
college you go to, or whatever, and then you keep going through. I do those all the time because they're kind of fun, but I don't post them. I delete him after I do it. This guy, he seems like the person where, oh, look at this filter. I'm going to try this one. And he clicks on it, and then he does it, and then just posts it randomly.
Let's see what his snack is here. It said, "What's your snack?"
It's a trail
And
mix.
his snack is cookies. He's like, well, yeah, I guess that's true.
I had cookies once before my teeth.
This is the guy who, and you and I have talked about this. There is a person who we used to work with. I wonder if I can pull this up or not.
Oh,
who
no.
it's?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Let me see. I'm not. I don't know if I'm logged in here, but I don't know if it will matter. We'll see. There's a person we used to work with who. Okay, yeah. Here we go. Here we go. This is a great example. I don't care at this point.
Okay.
Nobody's watching.
I was gonna say something, but
So there's this girl who Mike and I used to do broadcasts with,
I was thinking about a different person.
who is like a sports reporter in Pennsylvania or something, and she posts a lot of selfies, every day. And again, do whatever, it's your own account, whatever. But and she's married, and she posts these selfies, and I love one of my
married,
favorite
wow.
things to do is to look at the comments, because you will have exactly like what you said. Here's her top fan, Roby Bumgardner. You are a shiny star. And with the guy holding up perfect 10, here's David W. Smith. My, what big eyes you have. Heart
What is it?
face.
It's a Dr. Seuss book.
Roger Bellinger. Good afternoon. That's nice.
Very nice.
Beautiful dear. Welcome back, Allie. And I like how the top fans are all like old men. Here's Dino. That Allie smile. Barb. Okay, this is a woman. Your eyes are so big and beautiful. Right. I mean, keep in mind, these are people that don't. Here, there's another beautiful eyes. Good afternoon, sweetie. Like,
Good
these are all
afternoon.
old men that don't know her
Oh yeah, 100%.
at all. And like, they're all their.
What is that one?
I don't know. This is Vamos, the football top shop. I have no idea. Hey, amazing, and you so beautiful.
Yeah, that guy's not from here.
Out looking like $1 billion bucks. Richard Sacheni. Allie, hello, beautiful. Have a wonderful day. I'm gonna click on. Oh, I can't click on this guy's profile because I'm not logged in. But dude, it's just like you said. Oh, here's David W. Smith. So this is one of her top fans.
Look at that guy.
And it's like, bro, like.
That's your profile picture?
Also, this is kind of a weird comment. I'm impressed with your profile and personality. I don't normally write in comment section, but I think you deserve this compliment. I don't want to barge into your privacy by sending a request without your consent. Kindly add me as a friend if you don't mind. Thanks and remain blessed. It's like, that's freaking weird. But like this dude.
Oh my God. Look at that guy. Pinhead.
This guy is like commenting on this like 30-year-old woman's like posts and saying, hey, beautiful, and like all this stuff. It's like
play
it's
one of
just
her
all
videos.
dudes. Dudes are just so weird, man.
Dude, I can't stand her.
It's just but it's just so insane. Like it's like what do you think is gonna happen? Good morning. This guy said good morning to her. It's like, what is she gonna? What do you think she's gonna happen?
Yeah,
here?
have a conversation with you.
Here's Teddy. You look beautiful. Hey, Teddy, let's head to your profile picture, buddy. Yeah.
Oh
this
my!
is
he on a toilet?
yeah. What in the West Virginia cousins is this? Because like, bro, I mean, look at this couch. This couch has like poop stains on it up here.
Why is the couch so tall?
And well, are you laying like upside down on the couch? Yeah, here you go. Love you, cuz. I bet you do, Diana. I bet you do.
I bet you do.
I bet you guys shared a lot of nice love.
Yeah, there's a lot of different types.
It's just like, dude, like it's just, I don't know. Oh, like you said, like going back to that TikTok guy, it's like those dudes exist and
Yeah.
they're all freaking weirdos.
Yeah, like crazy people. Like
Just insane.
again, like you said, what do you get out of that? Like these guys don't understand that if you like, for instance, those are the type of guys that are on TikTok and they find a live that has some girl with huge cans or something like that that's
Right.
sitting there and like her like caption is just chatting or something like that, or
Right,
say
right,
hi
right.
or something like that, and the guy comes in there and of course his name is like Tony, Danza, or something like that, whatever his name is, and he sits there and just like has a profile picture of a phone that's from the 2006, and he takes a picture of himself, that's blurry, and there's dirt on the camera, and he's on a porch swing that is like leaned over, and there's like a pigeon on his arm or something like that. Like it's a guy like that, and he's like, what is that guy thinking that he's gonna get out of this? Because it's like, again,
dude, I don't know.
You comment, oh, like, hey, beautiful, and then like the girl like likes it or something like that, and then he's
Right.
like, oh man, I have a chance. Like, no, you don't.
Yeah,
have a
what do you think
chance.
is going to happen? You really think she's going to run away with you, guy? Like, you really
Yeah.
think that's going to happen? I mean, when you're done working your shift at the gas station, she's
Yeah,
going
she's gonna take all
you know.
that Pennzoil money from you.
Yeah, I'm glad you got this afternoon off at Costco because it was too windy. But hey, buddy, it's just not going to happen. It's just not.
That's
gonna
a weird,
happen. No,
dude.
It's just.
I see those a lot though. Like, and that's a weird thing
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Now I don't see them. Oh, I wouldn't say a lot. I see them probably 2 or 3 a night. That because when
Right.
I'm scrolling through before bed or whatever, or during a commercial or something, I see those where it's like it's some random person I don't know, and they're doing a filter, and they have 1 like and nothing else, and then I'm like,
Nope.
who the hell is this person? So I watch it for a hot second. Excuse me. I watch it for a hot second, and it's like Rick Bardis or something like that, some weird name, and it's like he's sitting there, and again he has like 7 chins because he's laying in bed with a breathing tube and a sleep apnea
Yeah.
machine, and he's sitting
Right.
there doing a filter that's like, what Disney prince are you? It's like, what? Like, what are we
Like,
watching?
Rick, at that point, Rick, turn off the machine and just let yourself go that night. Because go to the pearly gates because your life's not getting better. That's for sure.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
that was
I just
so
wanted to.
that
I
was
wanted to
funny.
share that, and I want to start doing that. Where keep note of any like weird TikTok things you find, bookmark them, and I want us to start playing them on the show because I want that to be part of the show moving forward. Because
you know
there
what
is
that
just
should
some
be?
weird stuff.
We should title it like social media something like find or something.
Yeah.
Like we need to title it something as a good segment, and then that could be like it could be Instagram, it could be TikTok, could be anything.
Oh yeah. It doesn't have to just be TikTok, but yeah, like a weirdo of the week. But we name it something better. But yeah, I definitely think that can be part of the show's plan because there's plenty of
Dude,
them.
that-
There's
hey,
plenty
that
of
would be
them.
hila-
There's some freaking weirdos.
That'd be
dude.
hilarious if you like accidentally like someone's thing and they write you a message.
No, I mean, we can have them on the show if they want to hop on.
Hey, by the way, on that planning sheet, I forgot I remembered I wrote it down at that time what the guy's name was who wrote about Lay's and ranked all the Lay's chips.
Oh, right.
I found out his
right.
name because it was on that old
Okay.
sheet that I had.
Yeah, now we interview him. He's like, "You mean the thing I wrote 3 years ago?" Like he's like, "What are you talking about?" But I bet we could find some other stuff he's done. We still got some snacks to test and things like that, but just briefly. I mean, this is still somewhat a sports show. We do, of course, have to mention. I mean, obviously, the biggest news being Ron Rivera being, S-canned, but at the same time, now we run into this situation where we're trying to figure out, the coaching candidates because their interviews are starting to happen or at least be requested. I have from Commander's Country, which is like a Fan Nation site or something like that. They have their top 3 Washington Commanders coaching candidates so far, and so I'll hit you with those. Here's our top 3 for the Commanders so far. Number 1, this has been the name that's been floated out quite a bit here, is Mike McDonald, the Ravens defensive coordinator, he obviously, as it even mentions, he's actually kind of a part of helping Michigan establish the defense that they have now, turned into a national championship over the last 2-3 years. So, that is a name that's being thrown out there. We also have Raheem Morris, another name thrown out there for the Rams. And then, of course, Ben Johnson from my Detroit Lions. And this is something, we talked about this over text a little bit, is, look, obviously some nice names in the mix. on the defensive side of the football in today's NFL, and you said this, and I fully agree, and you could see it with the Lions and some of these other teams that are having success in the NFL. It's like we can't be thinking defense anymore. Like in today's NFL, it's like, yes, you do need a good defense, of course. Like, that's part of it. But I want guys that are going to come in and bring offense to the table. I want to look at the guys that and hey, could some of these defensive coordinators be good head coaches and be able to kind of incorporate, work with Bieniemy and incorporate a higher paced offense? Sure. And we did see a lot of creativity over the Commanders in their final game of the season, of course, is when they brought out all the fun tricks of the trade. But still, I mean, out of these three names, it's like, obviously the guy I'd want the most is Ben Johnson, not just because he's from the Lions, but just because the Lions have one of the best offenses in the league, and that's what you need in today's NFL to do well. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
Right, and looking at it, obviously, I want to have. Whoops, I messed it up. Sorry, I had it wrong on there. Personally, I want to have a guy that comes in and just exudes offense. Now, just literally has it coming out of his pores, where he just knows, like a Sean McVay, like we had Kyle Shanahan, all these type of guys. The only person that I would have over an offensive guy, if that was the decision, would be McDonald. Because you have to think about it this way. He's young. He's done it at two different levels now. The Ravens defense is awesome. The Michigan defense is awesome. So you're thinking about it and saying, this guy can just bring in a defense, basically have the GM load his guys up with talent, and then oversee the defense, because he's not going to be the defensive coordinator. They're going to raise someone up. Now, if he calls defensive plays, that's different. But look at a guy like DeMeco Ryans. Now, yes, they got C.J. Stroud. That guy slings it everywhere. Bunch of young talent in the wide receiving core, so on and so forth. But that's the only person I would bring in besides a guy like Ben Johnson or something like that, because, again, defense wins championships. That's kind of an older saying, but you're seeing it. I don't think the Ravens' offense is that great. I mean, do you really think the Ravens' offense is great? No. But their defense is so good to the point where they're whooping Miami's butt, and they're doing this to other teams as well. So you're thinking about it and saying, this guy is also young, so he can bring in other young guys that he knows that are up-and-comers to be an offensive coordinator, to be a defensive coordinator, or whatever it may be. But comparing him to DeMeco Ryans is a huge thing, because DeMeco Ryans isn't that old at all.
Right.
And he brought in some young guys. He brought a guy from San Francisco. And that's the thing. You have to understand that the younger you are as a coach doesn't mean you're always better, but it means you're with the times. That's the problem, is some of these coaches that are just regurgitated every single year to a different team. I mean, John Fox is an example. I mean, he was at 3 different teams, and then Ron Rivera is another example. These guys are old. These guys are older to the point where they're not with the current NFL. It's not Brian Urlacher and these guys, middle linebacker, Ray Lewis. It's not like this anymore. Yes, Roquan Smith is probably arguably the best middle linebacker in the league. Arguably, okay? There's obviously a lot out there, Fred Warner and all those kind of guys. But Ray Lewis was run stuffer, hard hitter. He wasn't, covering, Sam Laporta. He wasn't doing that kind of stuff. Roquan Smith can do that, okay? But you have to think about it this way. Defense helps your team tremendously. But, again, comparing him to DeMeco Ryans, C.J. Stroud's on that team now. That's a whole different story. We don't have C.J. Stroud. We could possibly have someone type like him with this draft. But at the same time, if you're bringing a Ben Johnson type guy, it's always easier to be the coach and call offensive plays than to be the coach and call defensive plays, because when you're the coach, you have to, especially for defense, you have to understand a bunch of different things that are going on with how they're running their offense. Defensive players have a much harder time, okay? That's why they call it defense and not attacking, okay? When you're attacking a different team, that's when, it's easier because you're running your route. That guy's got to cover your route. He's guessing what you're going to do. You already know what you already know what you're going to do, as a wide receiver, for instance. But when it comes down to an offensive guy, it's also nice to have a guy like Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, these type of guys, because they're out there inventing new things as they go because they're still young,
Right.
because they're still with, a guy like Wes Welker who's coming up and coming. Mike Vrabel, who just got fired today, is a good example. He's still young, and he's a good defensive mind that just oversees the picture. So he's another guy that you look at. But the NFL is getting younger, just like every other league. But the NFL gets younger faster because you have to think about it this way. The game changes. There is so many things out there right now that favor offense. But 10 years ago, 15 years ago, defense was favored. That's why you saw Rex Grossman lead a team to the Super Bowl. That's why you see Trent Dilfer lead a team to the Super Bowl. It's different. But now you got Pat Mahomes, okay? You got other quarterbacks out there, Joe Burrows and stuff like that are the main teams that go out there and get to the Super Bowl. Those are the guys that go to the Super Bowl, the guys who have the quarterbacks. It's not like you have a quarterback like, God forbid, Sam Howell or whoever it may be, Taylor Heineke, all those type of guys that can say, I'll game manage and get you there. So you need offense. You need points. And that's exactly what you're talking about is, yes, defense is great to have, but you would prefer Ben Johnson. Now, I would too. But McDonald,
right. At the right price,
exactly.
though. I mean, he's obviously got a pretty high price tag.
But McDonald has that pedigree where he's done it now at two different spots.
Yeah.
And he's also young, which means that could attract other younger up-and-comers that are innovative and stuff like that. Because, honestly, when you look at this team needs to infuse, take a couple shots of young youth. Because the problem is we keep going to – and no matter how much you love him, Joe Gibbs comes in town, then Mike Shanahan, then Ron Rivera. You're getting these guys that are literally, on AARP. These guys.
Yeah, they're out of touch. I mean,
way out of touch of the league, and that's the problem that I have. You need to infuse it with some young up and coming studs for the coaching core, and just make this team a balling team, just like you said you have with the Lions. Same thing.
It's rare for a coach that's kind of an elder statesman to be able to still stay in touch. And when you look at a guy like Belichick, it's not that he was keeping up with the cutting edge of the NFL. He had a system that he had in place for years and years and years and years, and he found guys that fit into that system, and it worked for them for a long time. He also had one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, so that helps too. And then you look at Andy Reid in Kansas City. He had a tremendous offensive coordinator, obviously involved in that situation. A lot of really young, young talent on the team, and he was able to turn that into a Super Bowl winning team as well. But he's also kind of a more like a new age type coach in certain aspects too, and guy that's open to that. Where Ron Rivera came in, and it's my way or the highway, and
we're building the roster.
I have this big pedigree and all this sort of stuff, and it's just like, yeah. I mean, I had there was somebody on Twitter. I have no idea where the tweet is now, but who had said like, we all know that Ron Rivera is going to likely be let go, but we have to remember that we shouldn't celebrate him losing his job because he's at the end of the day he's a good man, and he had to deal with a lot while he was here and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, oh my God, it's like, look, like you don't feel sorry for these people. They're millionaires. I mean, they get paid a lot of money. They've been doing it a long time. Ron Rivera will probably latch on somewhere else at some point, or he'll go into, I mean, God forbid, he goes into like TV or something, because it's like the guy has the personality of a piece of paper. But, or maybe he wants to go, pull a Trent Dilfer and go coach college, or, whatever. I don't know what he wants to do. But yeah, don't feel sorry for Ron Rivera, who basically, yes, did he have to deal with some weird stuff? We talked about it last time. I mean, ownership changes and COVID, and just a lot of weird, it was a weird time here, but he also made some awful decisions. We talked about it all, but I did want to say real quick, the latest CBS Sports mock draft, as we're going to see a lot of these over the next couple months before we hit April. The latest one they did is they are anticipating a possible swap with the Commanders and the Bears for the number one pick. and for the Commanders to actually move up and get Caleb Williams with the number 1 pick overall.
Imagine that.
Obviously, Drake. Yeah, I mean, and May's name obviously has been floated around quite a bit as well, as a possible target. If, of course, I mean, with the Bears, it'd be, to me, it would be kind of wild to see them go and get Caleb Williams with the number 1 overall pick if I'm the Bears. But hey, that's John Z's territory, so I'm not going to debate that. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, you mentioned it last time, and I think you made a great point in that if you're looking at this job, both the GM side and the head coach side, there is a lot to like about coming into this organization. Namely, you don't have to deal with Dan Snyder anymore, so like that's a big plus. A lot of draft capital, a lot of some young talent, but just a lot of open spaces to work with where you can really, because sometimes you get these jobs and like you're a little bit handcuffed for the first couple of years based on what the previous regime did. I don't really think people are too handcuffed coming into this job. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens. I mean, it's crazy. The draft is going to be here in like 3 months.
And that's the thing.
I mean, like,
exactly what you're saying is these coaches that are on this list, the top 3 coaches that they want, at least one or even 2, maybe even 3, put it that way, are going to want this job. They see the new owner. That is tippy top, right on the top of Mount Everest right there. That is tippy what top. You see, is that they want to see someone other than Dan Snyder. That's happened. You got Magic Johnson, you got Mitchell Rales, you got Josh Harris, you got all the other owners, whatever. The new stadium might be coming in at some point soon. That's another incentive.
Sure.
Okay, but that's a little ways down the road. But if you're looking at the future, that's another way down the road that you can look at. Cap space. I think you got 3rd most cap space in the entire NFL. Huge to sign free agents and huge to just maneuver money around to fill in a few holes within free agency. Plus, like you said, you do have some young talent around here. Terry McLaurin, still young, under 30.
Yeah.
John Allen, still young, under 30. The thing about it is, I believe he's under 30. The thing about it is you have to understand that this team is on the up and up, and people need to start realizing that this offseason will be an offseason that people will kind of forget about, because the offseason is usually forgettable for us. But now when you look at the innards, like I said, new coach, new general manager, they're going to do it the right way, because, again, this is not a normal Redskin type offseason where they make a splash by going to hire Mike Shanahan out of retirement or something like that, and then they go trade for Donovan McNabb or something like that, or Albert Hainsworth. No, they're going to spend their money wisely. They're going to fill holes. They're going to fill their coaching staff, and they're going to get coaches, again, like I said, that are hopefully younger and infuse the talent around them, where you have guys that can actually get off their duff and go rip someone a new one. Sean McVay is out there throwing his headset. So is Kyle Shanahan, D'Amico Ryans. These guys have passion. These guys have I mean, to be quite honest, these guys have balls to say something to their guys. He's going to fight for them. They're not going to sit there with their arms crossed, wondering what day it is of the week. So the thing about it
looking
is,
like a totem pole, just standing.
And that's
there.
the problem,
Yeah.
is that people around DC and stuff like that, I don't think they've got really on board and on notice right now that, again, the cap space, the draft pick, new coach, new DC, OC, whatever, all these different things you can say. They have to understand that you should be paying attention to this team, because right now this team has a ton of things on the list to get done, but a ton of things on the horizon that are going to be huge positives for this area.
What happens this offseason will set the course for the next 5 years of this franchise.
100%.
I mean, like that's what it comes
100%.
down to. Is like, and it could really be that upward trajectory that we're hoping for, and it could also be more of the same. And so we'll have to kind of see. But I trust kind of the new people coming in, and I trust there to being some sort of shakeup and new way of thinking things. And I think the youth movement, it definitely needs to be in place. Let's do a little taste testing. I want to know what you got. I know I'm playing your seltzer music, but I feel like this is good taste
Can't
testing
taste the
music
seltzer
as well.
when Costco doesn't have them.
Yeah, Costco's empty with it, so I'm interested. I have no idea what you have.
I don't think that you have heard this, but if you have, actually, I think I actually sent it to you, I think, on Instagram. but
Okay.
you usually
Then I probably did.
probably
see it. No,
yeah
just
you
kidding.
usually check my stuff like once every 3 months.
Yeah.
So, Costco. Look at my face now with this fisheye.
Yeah, I don't know.
This
what's
camera is messed up, man. So,
Finding Nemo.
Costco got rid of the churro. Introduced a double chocolate chunk cookie.
What the hell?
Look at this bad boy.
Oh, that's just right up my
Look at
alley.
this thing, man.
Oh
This thing
my
is the
gosh.
size of a softball, if not bigger. It's bigger than a crumble cookie. So it's only $2.25.
That reminds me. I feel like is it Safeway that sometimes has the really big cookie? There's some grocery store where you could get like some really big cookies.
Look at the
like that
those
looks
chunks.
Well, but Costco, I feel like Costco at certain times have had Costco cookies before, but that
Apparently,
looks new
it's
to
brand new because they
Okay.
did away with the churros. They said apparently,
me. Right.
and they added this in because they had to quote unquote make
that looks
room
great.
for the cookie.
Right.
So
Right. As they should.
this cookie now it's a little.
Little tar. Well, I mean, it's been out.
It's probably been
for a
out.
bit.
The problem is, and I'll probably get COVID from it. They gave it to me in like a slit or something like that, where it was like a V thing,
Yeah.
but like the top two, like it was like a square, but the top two parts were just open. So it was like it was
Okay.
kind of like I don't know. It's
So you're like, who's
Well,
who's rubbing this on you know?
well, I grabbed
on
it.
their butt
Well, I
cheek.
grabbed
Yeah.
it and it just like fell out on top of the counter. And I'm like, and the guy just like looked at me and I was like, okay, I'll just
Yeah.
take it. You know, like could just got me a new one. But
Yeah.
so this
Yeah.
thing is a woolly mammoth of cookies, man. Like this thing is.
I mean, it looks good on camera, so I cannot even imagine
All right,
what
here
it
we
looks
go. We're
like
going
in
in.
person. All right, so Mike's gonna take the bite here of the double chocolate or chocolate chunk cookie, whatever they call it. And I mean, I just bet. And here's the thing, for me, again, here's what makes a perfect cookie in this scenario. One, the chocolate has to be top tier. Like when you bite in and you taste that chocolate, you know for sure, hey, that's milk chocolate chips in there, and they're great. There needs to be. It's okay if it's a little bit not stale, but it's like it's not going to be soft right out of the oven soft. But what it needs to happen is the outside can be a little bit more firm, but that middle needs to be a little bit softer for your biting and things like that. So that's a part of it as well. So I'm interested to hear about
So
this.
to divulge into this, yes, exactly what you said. The outside, little toasty.
Sure.
So it could have used probably another 30 seconds out of the oven rather than inside of it. But the thing about it is, the inside, now I haven't got, because it's a huge cookie, I haven't got all the way to the insides where, you know how like, when you look at a map and like you do a
Right.
little circumference and they do a bigger circumference with like the protractor or whatever the hell that thing is with a pencil on the end?
Oh, I think you froze.
Oh,
I was looking at something
so,
else. Yeah.
like you know that like so it's like what architects use. Like
Sure,
it has a
yeah.
point and then it has a pencil on the end. And
No,
like,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
The,
That's how you draw a circle.
yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, the circle, like for guys like us, we know where the gooey part is. We just know when it's going to start. I haven't really got to that part, but it's starting to seem like it's that part because again, the cookie's pretty damn.
So give you another, 5-10 minutes, so you'll get to that gooey.
Oh
side,
yeah,
for
you're
sure.
going to.
And here's one of the things. I mean, this definitely seems like a good milk dipping
Oh,
cookie.
yeah.
It seems like, you now it's too big to fit in a regular glass, but you take off a couple pieces, you dip it in there just long enough. I mean, I guarantee at the end of if you finish that whole cookie, that milk is going to be gone in 1.5 seconds flat.
It's amazing. Well, first of all, I'm an alien apparently, according to some people. I like to drop the cookie into the milk.
Yeah, that's just psycho.
But
behavior.
that's just that's no one.
Yeah, that's
no one's
serial
caught me
killer
yet to go to jail.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's okay. It happens accidentally or whatever. It is what it is. But to just let it go, Frozen style, like that's just, I don't love that.
So-
That's gross. Because then you just get this mushy mess at the bottom. Of
It tastes good. I mean, you got the chocolate chips still there. And so,
Yeah, it's just
anyways,
gross.
so you're gonna have to try it, man. So this Costco cookie again, It's like $2.25. It's
Yeah,
huge.
that's a good deal.
This is the play. Okay, we have the whiteboard out. It's
Right.
in the Hoosier State. You know, we're
Right.
Jimmy Chitwood is or whatever is next to
Yep.
me.
You got it
I'm
right.
drawing it up. You need to put this in a bowl. Pour a little tiny bit of milk on top of it to moisten it up just a tad. Just a tad.
Okay.
Then get a couple scoops.
Scoops of ice
Oh,
cream.
ice cream.
For sure.
And then put a
Yeah.
little chocolate drizzle on it. And then the cookie moistens a little bit more.
Right.
Then it's easy to scoop. And, oh, dude. Whew.
Yeah.
Man, that
Yeah.
would be, I mean, it's not an invention or anything like that, but this is a perfect size for that.
Well, I remember, like, it's been a long time since I've been there, but Alamo Draft House used to have, like, a whole thing where you get, like, a warm chocolate chip cookie and a scoop of ice cream on
Yeah.
it. And so, like, you'd be watching your movie or whatever. You'd already, like, finish up your wings or whatever, and then you make sure to, like, fill out the little card. It's like cookies and ice cream, and then you, like, hold it up there, and then they come bring that to you. When Tony Stark's hugging Spider-Man and he's like disappearing because of the snap in the Avengers. You're meanwhile that cookie's disappearing quicker and quicker because there's something magical about the cold ice cream
Right.
warm cookie combo.
But this
it's just
thing
a
is,
fact.
I mean, let me just do a size comparison for my hand. I gotta make sure there's no crumbs. So this is my palm. Look at that.
Yeah, no, that's a BAC, a big ass cookie.
That
that is
is
for
right.
sure.
So
Oh.
for a rating,
Yeah.
obviously I like to get a little more soft. I'm a softie. But honestly, dude, it's for $2 for that big of a cookie.
Right. I mean, it's a good deal.
Compared to crumble cookie where you get 4 for like 30.
Right, and the crumble stuff, like I admit, like I like a good crumble cookie every now and then, but like what you have right now, like that is my ideal.
You could get 4 for $10. 4 of these big boys for $10. I'd have to give it an 8 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Multi-use
That
cookie.
is a monster score.
It's a monster cookie.
Monster score. But it may. I mean, hey, I'm with you. I do not have a Costco membership, but I'll sneak through. I'll sneak in there with Liam, and we'll go grab some
Yeah.
cookies. That's for sure. Let's before we wrap up the show, we'll move into our Daily Dozen trivia. All right, we've been playing well. I don't know if I'll be on my game tonight. I mean, last time I went into that fugue state where I was like, I'm not as sick as I was last week, I
can
will
tell,
say,
yeah.
as you've probably noticed. I still have a cough. So before we get into that, I got a call yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday from the urgent care place, and they're like, "Hey, we're just doing a follow up, a courtesy follow up on you." And I was like, from my appointment that I was there like 3 weeks ago, I was like, "Yeah, so I still have the cough." They're like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Yeah, it's been about 3 weeks now." They're like, "Oh, that's too bad."
See you
and then I
later.
was, yeah. Well, basically, they were they were like, "Oh, is it a dry cough?" I was like, "Yeah, it's a dry cough, and it happens all day." And they're like, "Okay, well, try and get some more fluids and try and get some rest." All right, see ya. And they like hung up the phone. It's like fluids and rest. Like, what is this? The 1920s? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not.
The
I'm not
girl
gonna
in
be able to.
Balto. You know that movie,
Yeah,
Balto?
I'm not able to work on the farm today, Pa. I gotta rest. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, it was like in the middle of the work day, and it's like, get more fluids. Yeah, I was like, all right, well, this is now. I'm never going back to the
I'm
doctor
chugging
after
water
this.
while I'm on this call.
Yeah. It was just like, this is not helpful. Like, shouldn't you be like, oh, you've had a cough for 3 weeks? Maybe you have I don't know.
Influenza.
I can't even. Throat cancer. I don't know what it is, but like somebody help me with something. It was unbelievable. But anyways, Daily Dozen.
You know the movie Balto, right?
From back in the day, vaguely,
Okay.
like with the dog.
Well, the
I
girl
know
was
the dog.
really sick and stuff like that, and she kept like sitting there like coughing and like barely moving her head in the pillow.
Yeah, they all.
I don't know
had,
why
like,
that popped up right in my head when you were talking about patient
I
first.
don't know either. Balto. Okay. Well, let's see how we do here today.
All right. Well, last time was 9 for 9, so let's see if we can get it again.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about
Game
this one.
170 right here on the 9th of January 2024.
I'll bring.
Matt Moore played for this AFC team from 2011 to 2017, primarily serving as a backup, but filled in as a starting QB during wildcard weekend in January of 2017. Matt Moore.
Is this Dolphins or is this somebody else?
That sounds very, very good.
I could be wrong, but that's what popped into my head first was Dolphins.
Let's go with it.
Now, would the Dolphins have been in the wild card in 2017? I have no freaking
They
idea.
had who was on the Dolphins then? All right, we'll come back to it. But that's our initial
Yeah,
guess.
that would be my initial guess.
Swiss SG Thabo Cephalosha was a defensive specialist and started for this Western Conference team during the 2012 NBA Finals. Was that Houston?
Houston popped in my head. I mean, I know he was on the Thunder at one point, but that wouldn't have been 2012, I feel like. Because remember, like, I feel like he was on the Thunder when he had the whole arrest weird thing. So think about it. 2012 NBA Finals, who came out of the West? This was like before the whole Warriors.
When did LeBron go to Miami? It wasn't the Mavericks, was it?
I don't think Thabo was on the Mavericks team that went to the finals.
Okay.
That does not ring a bell. So it's not Mavs. It's not Warriors. So it's like, who else was like the Heat beating? I mean, that's why. But again, 2012. So I had
Wasn't the Heat 12, 13, 14?
I thought it was earlier.
Well, think about it though. He was with the Lakers now for what? 4 seasons? That's
Something like that,
2020,
yeah.
and then he went back to the Cavs for at least 3 or 4.
Yeah. So yeah, I think some possible guesses. So you said, but I don't think the Rockets were in the NBA Finals.
That's the problem.
And it's not the Warriors. I don't think. So yeah, I don't. He doesn't strike. The Thunder are the only Western team, but it's like, was he? I don't think he was on the same Thunder team as Harden. I mean, I'm thinking of the team with Durant and Harden and Westbrook, and I don't think. I think that was earlier.
Cephalosha.
Man, well, I guess we'll come back to this one too.
Okay.
Jeez, we're having trouble.
Yeah. After spending 20 seasons with one franchise, what Hall of Fame center played the final season of his NHL career with the Detroit Red Wings? And
This is supposed to be right on my alley. This is
center, so it has to be. It starts with an H. What is it again?
Oh well, you said it was, but it's not. But it was what final season?
It's not.
Oh. So he okay. So I thought this was saying that he spent 20 years with one team and then he came and played his final year with the Red Wings after playing 20 years with a different team.
It says 20 seasons with one franchise. What Hall? Yeah, I think it's all with the Red Wings.
But saying after spending 20 seasons with one franchise, what Hall of Fame center played? But I don't know. But you could be right because the guy, it would be Zetterberg if it
Henrik
was.
Zetterberg, yeah.
But I feel like Zetterberg retired later than 2010, 2011. He was on the team in like the mid 2010s. So this is probably is this like am I wrong? And again, I don't know hockey that well. Is this like Hossa?
Is it Marianne Hossa?
Did he play? I mean, was he was he a center?
Yeah,
I don't know, but
Marianne
but
Hossa.
was God, I mean that just popped into my head. I don't know,
Go
man.
back to it. All right.
we're
you
struggling.
didn't have a good feeling about it. Who was president of the United States from 1929 to 1933 during the Great Depression and directly preceding FDR? Damn.
This is rough. So Coolidge popped into my head,
Coolidge.
but I don't know if that's for sure it. Am I wrong? Was it Harry Truman? I think was later.
Now, Harry Truman was during the war, and it was
World War. Yeah. So it was later than this.
Harry Truman, I believe, is the one called the atomic bomb.
Yeah. So preceding FDR. So yeah, the names that popped into my head was like, was Calvin Coolidge, but like I could be way off.
Well, we could do Calvin Coolidge because
Let's just give it a shot. God,
All
yeah.
right.
See, this is. I told you. I did not have a good feeling about
Andy
this.
Sousa.
This is not one that goes on the highlight
All right,
reel.
we know that's.
All right, so
Josh
we know
Bro-
Jay Leno.
Josh Brolin.
And Josh Brolin. Yeah, and Jay Leno on the outside.
God.
Okay, all right. So we know we at least get one right today.
Yeah, right.
Grocery products. All right, you just at the grocery. Here we go.
With its name in dark red letters on the classic cup variation, this brand of instant ramen noodles is a competitor to Nissan's cup
Oh
noodles.
my god.
That would be cup of noodles, right? Cup noodles.
Sure. Just go with it. Cup noodles. Oh my gosh.
What is that again?
This is
With his name
This
in
might be a
dark red
disaster.
letters. It's not ramen, is it?
top ramen. I don't know.
William Zabka and Ralph Macchio reprised their roles.
Okay.
Okay, I'll read it for the fans. Reprised their roles. The
Yeah,
Karate Kid
yeah.
franchise with its comedy drama sequel series that debuted.
Yeah,
Cobra Kai.
it's the. Yeah, there we go. Thank God. Okay.
movies.
All right. Movies.
What actress earned her 6th career Golden Globe nomination for her role as Tess Coleman in the 2003 film Freaky Friday? That would be what's her name? I know it. It's the girl from Halloween and stuff.
Yeah. Does her name start with a J?
Wasn't-
I mean, because I'm blanking
Does
right
her name
now,
have
too.
3 names in it?
Yes.
Starts with a J, I think.
That's what I just said. I
Julie?
think it starts with a J.
No.
No. Or is it like a Julia or something?
Damn it!
Jane? No. Because I know. I mean, we know this. Because like you said, Halloween. She's from the Halloween.
She's from
movies.
Halloween. She's from
And she's
the Arnold Schwarzenegger.
she's from a lot of stuff.
Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Yeah. Oh my God. This is just.
Her daughter
this is
was
a
Lindsay
disaster.
Lohan.
Yeah, this is a disaster. Go to music. Go to music. I mean, this is.
What English pop rock band is known for their #1 hit song "Come On, Eileen" in 1982?
Oh my God. I mean, I know the song. I don't.
I don't even know the song. "Come On, Eileen."
It's like, come on, Eileen. Sing it. They play it like every wedding.
Oh God. Is that like
It's like some no-name band. That's the problem.
Oh, okay. Then we're not gonna get that.
Yeah, we're not gonna get that.
All right, going back to the NFL.
God, what are we doing?
doing the
here?
Dolphins.
All right, go Dolphins. I'm probably wrong.
Nice.
Oh, thank
Good.
God. Okay.
All right.
NBA. All right, let's bang this out. All right, here we go. Got to get hot.
Speed
All right,
round.
2012 NBA Finals. 2012. Who was in the 2012 NBA Finals? Again, it's not the Warriors. I mean,
the Thunder. The
did they-
Thunder's all right. I'll go with the
just
Thunder.
throw the Thunder. Throw the Thunder in there. Bounce, 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 bounce,
Yes,
bounce.
yes,
Boom,
yes,
baby.
yes,
We're 2 for 2. Let's go. All right, number 3. Here we go. Marion Hossa. Throw it in there. Throw it in there. Hossa.
Hossa.
Oh!
Balls.
I don't know the answer on that one. Or was it like, God, I think it was some other guy who was like, freaking A. All right, whatever. What are the other questions? Oh yeah, it was
Movie
like,
one.
all right, Freaky Friday Mom. Okay, we know it's Lindsay Lohan and it's the freaking lady. Her name,
What's her name?
is like Jane. Is it Jane something? Jane Vaughn Trap? No,
Jamie Lee
I don't-
Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. God. Okay, we got there. We
I
got.
knew
there.
it was.
All right.
We knew it was a J. And it
Yeah,
was
we-
3 names.
We knew who it was. We just couldn't think of the name because we're being
And
stupid
then
right now.
the
This one,
Beatles.
no chance.
The Beatles.
Yeah. Yeah, might as well. All right, God, what a disaster. Double dip.
I don't even know. We can.
I mean, you could try it for the ramen one. Maybe try like top ramen, maybe, or it's funny because I try top ramen.
Nope.
All right, we're wrong. Great, cool.
Awesome.
I mean, I see the same ramen at the grocery store every single time. I don't see any other types of ramen.
NHL.
It's always a cup of
Mike
noodles.
Modano. Wow. I didn't know he played for. Whoa.
Now I'm pissed.
I didn't know he played for the Red Wings. He played
Apparently he did. After
20
years.
20 years with the
Somewhere
Stars.
else.
He was playing with the Stars.
Yeah.
History.
All right, who's
Herbert
the-
Hoover.
Herbert Hoover. I read the vacuum cleaner guy, right?
Marchand.
Marchand. Okay.
Sweet.
All right.
I didn't know there was
Yeah,
that many
all right, and then-
cup of noodles.
And then who's the music?
Dexy's Midnight Runners.
Yeah, you know, Dexy's Midnight Runners. Yeah, the one we all have tattoos of on our back.
Yeah.
Dexy's Midnight Runners.
Yeah, that's great.
That was bad. But
That was
that was a tough one.
that was a lot.
What was the stats? Wait, hold on. I want to see the stats on this. Show the stats. Oh, I think you have to do it.
All right, yeah, I got it.
Bring it back
The stats.
in. I want to see the stats.
Oh, hold on. All right, I'll read them off. 44 NFL, 54 NBA, 12 for the NHL. Jesus.
So did we wait? What was the NBA answer?
The NBA answer was
Oh, we
yeah,
got
it
that right. It was the Thunder.
Yeah.
Okay.
50 for history, 46 for mashup. How did people not get the mashup? Where
Really?
they got
the mashup was like
Herbert
the easiest
Hoover.
one. Yeah.
Grocery, obviously, 26. That was not good.
Oh.
So
okay.
12 and 20. 12 might be the lowest one I've ever seen. Music, 39. Movies, 64. And TV, 77.
Okay. Wait, what was music?
Music was the Dexies or whatever.
Yeah, I know. What was the percentage on that?
It was 39.
Okay.
Whatever floats your boat there. Who remembers Dexies Midnight Runners?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. That's embarrassing.
Movies, okay. People got Jamie Lee Curtis, okay. But how did they not get Josh Brolin, who's one of the biggest actors in this day and age? He was Thanos for everyone should know.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Not to mention he was in Sicario and all these other movies. Okay.
Sicario.
And then you look at it, and then all of a sudden you have what was the other one I'm thinking of? The History, Herbert Hoover. Everyone knew Herbert Hoover over that. And then Jay Leno. They didn't get Jay Leno. Oh, come on. Let's be honest here.
Bunch of idiots.
Morons.
Well, we'll do better next time, people.
That's
Look,
the worst one we've ever had.
Everybody has an off night.
Blame it on that patient first.
We'll blame it on Tiger Woods leaving Nike. We're all pretty devastated by that. So we'll see. I mean, somebody said he should go with the Kirkland brand.
That would be hilarious.
And that's right up your alley.
Yeah.
You'll be at Costco even more if
I did
if
not see
suddenly selling Tiger.
I did
gear
not
there.
see the Kirkland clubs there. So
Oh.
yeah. They're selling like
Don't they have like
Callaway.
amazing deals on golf balls there? The Kirkland balls.
Yeah, I think
Like, you get,
they sell them. I think they were like $30 for like a pack of 20 or something like that.
oh, okay.
Something like that. I'm not exactly sure.
Whatever. Well,
I find top.
good people.
I literally find like a TaylorMade somewhere. I buy them off lostballs.com. Okay, let's be honest. Here.
Yeah, I've done that many times.
Or is it?
I feel like
Lost
you probably told me that one. Because I've definitely I've ordered off there plenty of times for sure.
Yeah.
Because I am always losing.
I'll
my
get
balls.
mine slightly scuffed, dude. That's the one thing I hate is that like my golf team, like these kids are like bringing out sleeves of Pro V1s, and I'm sitting there with a Srixon that's been scuffed for the last like 6
Right.
years, and I somehow hit better than them. And it's like
Right,
it's not the
right,
ball,
right.
it's the golfer. Just like it's not the pilot, it's not the plane, it's the pilot.
That's
See?
that's what you're here for.
See?
That's what you're here for. All right, people, we're gonna go. See ya. No, follow the show on social media at the DC Crossover at Cerrone16 and on TikTok DC Crossover Podcast. Got to check in on George Mason VCU game right here.
By the way, I did check.
1 point game at half.
I did check your Detroit Pistons. They shot 82% in the first quarter.
All right, not too bad. And let's see how your
Well, no.
Bogdanovich has 22 points.
yeah. And well, the funny thing was that they were up 18 after the first quarter, and they've got outscored by 11 so far in the second quarter.
Oh yeah, and part of your bet is you wanted the Kings
To win by 10.
Yeah, well, hey, there's still a whole like half to go.
Hey,
so-
Jaden
and
Ivey,
it's the
13
Detroit
points.
Pistons.
Wow. Hopefully he doesn't fight with a teammate at halftime.
He's showing out. We will see you guys next time. John Z, please save us, John Z. Save us. I mean, that's the thing, John Z. I mean, are you guys going to draft Caleb Williams? Are you guys going to go get Marvin Harrison Jr.? Are you going to just trade down and get a million other
Gonna
picks?
break a story?
Are you going to break another story, John Z? That's a big thing. John Z, we gotta get you on TikTok, my friend. Oh, he is on TikTok.
Well,
but
he is.
we got to get you taking some of those filters like that guy earlier.
Yeah.
Because that's quite a scene. We'll see you next time. This has been another episode of the DC Crossover.